Hello, I am back with another 24-hour readathon. I'm so excited to do another one of these because I had so much fun filming my last one. If you'd like to watch it, it is on my channel. Yes, I had so much fun doing that one, and this one is, I mean, all my videos are for me, but this is definitely a video for me. I just have so many books on my June TBR that I want to get to. I feel like at first, I actually was not that excited for my June TBR video, which will be up by now probably, so you can also watch that. But I wasn't that excited just because I felt like there was nothing on my radar that was like piquing my interest. And then I did like an hour of research of like books that I knew that I had wanted to read and maybe didn't put on my Goodreads or whatever. And now I just have like a fully stacked TBR and I want to read everything, which is good and bad. So what I'm going to be doing is I need to do a little 24-hour readathon, try to get through as many books as possible. Last time I was able to read 3 books. Hopefully I'll be able to read more this time, maybe 4. We'll see. And I've already started. So sorry, I know I will insert a little clip here. I did start at 9 a.m. this morning, or like 9:30 maybe, because I just want to, I wanted to get ahead of it. And also tomorrow I have something going on like later in the night. So I was going to do like 12 hours and 12 hours, but then it didn't really line up with the other things I'm doing. So I'm going to try to read as much as I can today, maybe even like, I don't know, maybe 15 hours if I can get to it, and then just read the remaining few hours tomorrow. So that's the goal. So where are we? I am now, without trying to get the glare out of there, also it's flipped, but I am 19 hours and 28 minutes and 10 seconds left in my reading challenge, which I think is pretty good. Also, I'm trying not to yap too much because I want to get back to this, but here is what I've read, what I'm reading, and what I'm going to be doing. So this morning when I started, I finished The Fall of Wrath and Ruin, which was the fantasy book I had started a few days ago on my June TBR. That was such an annoying ending. And I say annoying because I was under the impression that that was a standalone fantasy book because it's the only one out. It came out a few years ago. For some reason, I was just like, oh yeah, like it's a standalone. Don't know why I assumed that. It is not. Left on a huge cliffhanger. It was literally published like 3 or 4 years ago now, and I looked it up. There's no release date for the second one, so I was like, great. No, like great. Also, I probably should be holding it because I have it. 1 second. Here she is. I did enjoy parts of this, but I definitely don't think it's a favorite of mine for sure. I think my biggest gripe was I did not love either of the main characters, the female main character or the male main character. To me, the girl was very immature in her like language and like the way she like thought and spoke about things, and I think that's one of my biggest pet peeves. I get it in some senses where if the character is not exposed to a certain part of society, they might be kind of more naive, but it didn't really fit with this. It felt like she should not be that way. I don't know, sorry, it was so annoying. She also did this really annoying thing to me, and maybe this is nitpicky, but I hate when characters are like purposefully oblivious. I don't know how to describe it. Like something very obvious will be happening. Like for instance, there's a scene where another guy is touching her. The main male character is like staring at her and staring at where the guy is touching her, looking pissed, and she's like, is he jealous? And she's like, no. Like, why would he be jealous? He doesn't even like me. Like, no, not for me. Like, obviously it's something else. No, it's not. Like, if all the if all the signs point to A, it's A. Like, why do we have to be purposely oblivious? I think it gives almost like a pick-me energy, and it's like, I'm just a girl. Like, I'm just a normal girl. Like, who me? I'm sorry. I'm gonna be done rambling about this because, like I said, I don't want to yap too much. That just annoys me, so I didn't love that. The main male character was just very like stiff and robotic at times. Although I did kind of find the political part interesting. There's something that's revealed toward the end of the book about their relationship that I thought was interesting. So maybe I could see myself picking up the second book if it ever comes out, but it's not like super high on my radar. Next, I'm reading Gone to See the Riverman. This is a horror book, and I'm listening to this on audiobook. And This is insane. I know, I knew going into it that this was going to be extreme horror. That's why I picked it up. There's just a few things in here that I had not expected. So if you like horror, if you're interested in horror, read trigger warnings on books just in case. Like, had I known about a few things, I might not have picked this up. Yeah, so read your trigger warnings. Anyways, it is definitely eerie. It's definitely like spooky, scary. If you like a unlikable character and maybe a narrator who is the bad guy and the villain, I think you will like this one. I actually only have about an hour left, so I definitely will be finishing that right now. And it is an interesting horror, and I'm very interested to see if there's a supernatural element, if it is just like this serial killer type book. I also didn't say what this or that was about. Sorry. I'll explain this one. The other one, you're gonna have to look up. Sorry, it's just, we're done with that one. But, so Gone to See the Riverman is about this girl who is exchanging, she's a pen pal with a convicted, known, very notorious serial killer, and he basically asked her to complete a task for him in the woods in his old family's cabin, and then asked her to deliver something to the riverman. And she goes, she takes her sister who is mentally handicapped after an accident in their childhood, and she is her main caretaker. And so they're just going through the woods. They like meet some spooky people and some really nice people in the woods actually. And they're just going to see the riverman, despite the fact that he seems a little shady and people are telling her not to do this. So I definitely like this like eerie woods. It's kind of swampy. It's like a lot of river talk, obviously. I like the atmosphere a lot. I like the atmosphere a lot, and I feel like there's been some really, really good creepy moments. So I am enjoying the overarching plot line. There is just the thing that took me off guard. I literally, in my notes, because I'm trying to be better about taking notes while I'm reading, I just did, you'll see, I did like what, like in all caps a million times, because I was like, oh, okay. That is not it's not technically part of the main plot. It is something that like our main character did when she was younger that affects the story kind of. But yeah, I was like, okay. And there's also, obviously, there's like a few, every once in a while there's different POVs, and we just had one from the serial killer, and that one was really icky as well. But again, this is extreme horror. I kind of expected that. I expected more of that than the other thing. But anywho, if you want to read it, just be careful. Just know about that. Anywho, now what I'm going to be doing is I'm kind of working right now, like on my laptop and stuff. So I'm going to go to a cafe. I'm going to listen to my audiobook and continue working at the cafe. There's quite a few things I need to do still, and I only have an hour left. I think I will probably be there for maybe more than an hour, or at least by the time I walk there, I'll have less than an hour to listen to it. So I'm gonna have to find one of my other TBR books to read. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to choose. I have the 3 that are kind of on my mind right now to pick up, because I don't own any of these physically, although I kind of want to get some of them physically, are Picture Dorian Gray, Remarkably, I cannot say that word, Bright Creatures, and Yesteryear. One of those, and I do want to listen to an audiobook since I'll be walking around and doing a few things, and then once I get home, I'll be able to physically read something. So we'll see what I choose. I'm not sure yet. You'll find out when I find out, okay? All right, let's go, because I want to get a matcha. Since I've been giving you some outfit of the days recently, I thought I would show you this one, because I just got this skirt at the thrift store, and I think it's so cute. It's got all these sparkly little flower sequins on it. Very cute, very summer. I think the butt has some stuff too. Love that. And I love a little mini jean skirt. And then there's just this cute top that I also thrifted. Yeah, so hopefully it's actually as warm as I'm expecting it to be, because knowing Chicago, it could look 80 and then you go out and it's windy and cold. So we'll see. Welcome back to the spot where we started. I'm officially 13 hours, no, I have 13 hours, 56 minutes, and 58 seconds left. I would show you there. The glare gets crazy over here, which is very exciting. Although I think I would like to get a minimum of 5 to 6 more hours today, which literally sounds crazy because I feel like I've been reading for so long, and I have like 10 hours now. But I want to not have to read too much tomorrow, like I mentioned, and 5 or 6 more hours if I start reading tomorrow at 9 a.m. will put me around 4 or 5 p.m. finishing tomorrow, which I think would be ideal. So we're gonna try to do that. I am getting a little tired though. I might need to take like a 30-minute break and like scroll on TikTok or something. I don't know. But let me update you about the books that I have been reading. As you saw this morning, I finished Fall of Wrath and Ruin, which I was like pretty much already done with that. So that was pretty easy to just wrap up. Then I started and finished Gone to See the Riverman, which I definitely enjoy is a interesting word to use, but it was definitely good horror. There were some really eerie, unsettling moments throughout. And although I never had a moment where I was like, sometimes I literally get like jumpy from horror books. Like I literally get like worked up. I don't think I ever got to that point. I do think that the horror was well done to like, I was like, yeah, this is scary and like eerie and weird and icky. So I think it did that really well. And I really liked the concept of the Riverman. I still don't know what the hell he was. I think it feels like it was leaning towards like a voodoo, magical, supernatural. I mean, it definitely was supernatural because like that stuff wouldn't happen. And the ending was crazy. I was like not expecting that at all. But honestly, I loved it. This is only a book you're gonna like if you can handle reading from some deranged narrators, silly, crazy, and unlikable characters for sure. And honestly, like villains. Like these people are villains. I mean, really only the main character and her pen pal guy. If you're okay with reading from that perspective, I think you would like this because it is truly a trip. It is a trip down the river, let me tell you. But it was definitely eerie, unsettling, which were the vibes I was wanting. Again, check your trigger warnings though, because like I said, it gets a little crazy. The other thing I want to say about this is that I think, other than the really icky scenes, like, and I'm talking specifically about the thing earlier I was saying, I don't want to say it because I don't know if it's a spoiler. If you read the book, you'll know. Other than those scenes, this would be an amazing movie to watch. Like this would be, I could like picture it so well. I feel like this and like the true detective style vibe of a movie would be so good. And I feel like they could do a really, like they could tweak it a little bit. So we maybe think that the narrator is like more likable than she is. And then like switch it up at the end and be like, she was actually crazy. I feel like that would be really good. And I would love that movie. So somebody, Jordan Peele, somebody, I don't know, A24, get on that. But then I started listening to Yesteryear, and I'm really enjoying this. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel about this because I haven't seen anyone say they like hated it, but I've just seen people either like it a decent amount or they kind of are like medium vibes to it, but I'm very much enjoying this. And I think it's so funny. Like the main character, Natalie, is absolutely ridiculous. Like she's just like so narcissistic, full of herself, whatever, and has such an interesting mindset, which it is funny. And I've seen other people say this. It is funny until you remember people actually do think like this and you're like, oh, right. but from a fictional standpoint, it's pretty funny. She's like talking, thing that like really made me laugh was like, she's talking about her husband, and right after she gives birth to their firstborn, I think it's like 2 weeks after, he comes into her room with a bunch of gifts, which granted, I do think he got the ideas from her mom. Comes into her room with gifts, and the gifts are a baby swaddle thing and running shoes. And he's like, you can take her on a run and start running. And in her head, she's like, you think I can run around with a 2-week-old baby after I just gave birth 2 weeks ago? And she literally in her head was thinking, she's like, I've married an idiot. And I'm like, yeah, well, yeah. So that was pretty funny. There's just like a few like moments throughout where I'm like kind of giggling, even though she's like ridiculous and like her mindset is so, it's a lot. She's just funny. Like the things she says literally like it makes me laugh because it's just so ridiculous. There was like another one where she's talking about how people don't actually want minimalist homes, and that because she has a very like artfully designed, not like, what's the word, maximalist kitchen, but just very artfully designed. And she's like, people who think that they actually want minimalist designs, like if like would kill themselves if they actually got it, or something along those lines, like just so out there. So I'm enjoying that. And this is about, sorry, I didn't say what this is about. This is about Natalie, who is a influencer. She is a trad wife influencer who does like homestead content. She's like baking bread and like getting eggs from the chicken coop on her farm. But really her life is obviously very curated, and she has like ranch hands and maids and nannies. She's got like 6 kids. But she's got like everyone to help her or whatever. And then one day she wakes up and it's actually the 1800s, and she is kind of trying to reconcile with where she is, but is also like actually living the life of a trad wife. But what is interesting is we don't spend as much time in the 1800s as I would have imagined. We're actually going a lot of back and forth between Natalie's life, like up to the point that she's a trad wife. Like we see her in college, we see her meeting her husband, having her first child, all of that lead up, and I'm really enjoying it. Like I thought I would be annoyed because really the selling point of the story is that she's like somehow transported to the 1800s and kind of has to like you would think learn these lessons about being a trad wife in real life, basically. But I'm really loving her like back and forth, and like the instances we see of her becoming the person that we see in the first few chapters. I just really am enjoying seeing her character and seeing how she like acclimates and adjusts to her environments that she's in. She's just a very interesting character that I feel like I don't read many perspectives like hers, probably for a reason, because I think I would get annoyed if I had to read a bunch of perspectives of people who thought like this. But yeah, so I'm really enjoying that. I will probably listen to a little bit more of the audiobook. I had my little lunchy / dinner already. I might get a sweet treat and a little sweet sip out of my kitchen in a little bit. But I also decided last minute that I was going to go to Barnes & Noble, wander around a little bit while I was listening to my audiobook. I had to come home and change that because I was honestly chilly. And I got remarkably, jeez, Bright Creatures by Shelby Van Pelt, which unfortunately does have this hideous Netflix sticker on it, and it's not even a sticker, it doesn't come off. Who did that? Let me speak to somebody, because I was so pissed. I literally went around the store and tried to find this cover without that, and they did not have it. They had the movie cover, which also had one of these on there anyway, which I'm sorry, movie covers are never it. Who is buying the movie covers? I feel like only maybe like a grandma would be into that. Sorry, not to be a hater if you love movie covers, but excited to read this. I think I actually will read this tomorrow, because what I'm going to do tonight, here's the plan. Gonna listen to some more of my audiobook, probably. Maybe even, not finish it. I have like 6 hours left. But listen to some more of that. And then on my Kindle, I downloaded 7 Days in June, which is a romance story. Sorry, I have this hold up and I'm not talking about it. 7 Days in June, which is a romance, which I feel like that's what I'm gonna need to push me through the last 3 hours. Like I'm gonna need something a little more not entertaining. All these books are very entertaining, but I just feel like romance is always the thing that I'm like get really into and is easier for me to fly through and not put down. Whereas like contemporary fiction, as much as I enjoy it, like I feel like I do this in like smaller sections and like want to put it down and like take a break and whatever. So we're going to do romance later tonight to really get through this last hurdle. But I do want to read a physical book, and I think I will pick this up tomorrow. And yeah, that's going to be that. Also, this is just really quickly, it is a Netflix movie, which I will watch after I read this. But it is about a woman. She is a janitor at an aquarium, and she basically befriends the octopus in the aquarium. And we even get perspectives from him, like chapters from him, which I think is interesting. But I think it's gonna be a little bit about grief, a little bit about like friendship. Yeah, so the main character's husband died, and she took up the job after that. And I think there might be like a mystery element here, because it says Tova's the main character, and her son disappeared, and the octopus is helping her figure it out. Okay, a detective. So yeah, I am excited about this, and I'm looking forward to do the movie afterward as well. But anyways, those are my reading plans, and I'm gonna stop yapping right now. I will update you later tonight. Actually, I don't know when I'll update you. Don't hold me to that. But yeah, okay, so I'm gonna get back into my reading, and I'll check back in later. Guys, I have news. As much as I wanted to finish this 24-hour readathon in 2 days, I cannot do it. For some reason, I don't know why, I'm so tired right now. I don't know if it's because I went to sleep kind of late last night, which is not like totally out of the norm for me though. Or just because I've been reading literally nonstop, listening to audiobooks or reading physically for the past 22 hours. Now, I cannot do it. So I think I'm going to take a break for the rest of the day. I have plans at 7 and it's already 5, and I still need to like get ready and fix my hair. I mean, like literally what is going on with her? This is how you can tell that I was just laying down because I was so tired after work. So yeah, this is my announcement to say that I'm going to be finishing tomorrow. Although I only have, I believe, like 2 hours left. So it'll be a quick little finish up tomorrow, and I really wanted to finish today, but it's just that's not how the cookie is crumbling, unfortunately. I'm sorry, I'm so tired. But I wanted to update you. I started reading 7 Days in June last night, and I'm really enjoying that. I only got a few chapters in because again, I was just tuckered out. But it's way more fun and like a light funny tone than I expected going into it. I just feel like the cover and what I've heard about it gives more like serious romance book. Do you know what I mean? Like a more, I don't know, like the characters are more serious, like the storyline's more serious, but so far it's like pretty funny. I would say the main female main character, she is a like author for paranormal erotica, so like vampires, demons, maybe witches and stuff like that. And she's just really funny. She's like a funny character. Like the prologue, I think it was the prologue, or maybe it was the first chapter, I was like, oh, okay, what's going on here? It definitely was silly. So I'm enjoying that. I'm hopefully maybe if I come home from my event tonight, I will, and I have any energy, I will read some more of that, because that's like fun to read. And like, I feel like romances are fun to read like in bed at night. But yeah, I started that. I also started Remarkably Bright Creatures. And yeah, so I started reading a few chapters of this. I'm only about 55 pages in. And so far, I don't think that's like far enough in for me to have any super strong opinions either way. I am enjoying it, but there's nothing that's like none of the characters I'm like super attached to yet, if that makes sense. But I am enjoying that, and I think I definitely want to like do like a little movie or book to screen. So maybe since I'm finishing this vlog up tomorrow, I'll try to finish the book. Let me think about that. So if I have 2 hours left, the book's not that long. If I read for 2 hours straight, I might be able to get pretty close to completely finishing it. So maybe I'll just try to read for a little longer, and then I can like watch the movie that night. That is the plan. Let's see if it works out that way, because I think that'd be fun. Yeah, and then I finished Yesteryear. That book was insane. That book was crazy. I loved it. The reason I gave it 4.5 stars and not 5 stars is that there were some parts that just like felt very repetitive. Like at some points, like, I don't know, like I feel like we established Natalie's tone and her character pretty well, and sometimes I feel like some of the moments were just like further hammering in the idea of her being like this kind of narcissistic like person who was really like creating this image for herself, like false image of herself and of her family life and stuff. So I was like, I feel like we could have cut out maybe 1 or 2 examples, but totally crazy. Not what I expected, really. But it was so good. I love how this was written. I want to have more thoughts about it. I want to sit with it for a little bit longer and like read other people's reviews and see other people's reactions. But I just like, the writing was so good, and this character, I loved her. Like, and I will say that I loved her character. I would not love her as a person. Like this, she's definitely a little bit off her rocker, although at times I really did feel bad for her. Like I feel like I had a lot of empathy towards her at some points, and then some points, of course, I was like, this girl, this is insane. Like you need help, honestly. But I feel like that is like a good, like if you can get like readers to have that kind of complex relationship with your characters, I feel like you're doing a good job. To me, this was giving Gone Girl if instead of moving to Missouri and buying a bar, they moved to Idaho and got a farm, and Amy was an influencer. Like that level of like crazy psychological thinking, I feel like. And it was just like so fascinating to read from. I think I said this in an earlier clip. I feel like I don't really read a lot of perspectives like Natalie's. So I really was like, girl, this is crazy. I feel like this is like a thriller or horror, honestly. It is like, I know it's not, but like it has some things that I'm like, could be horror, honestly. I saw a few people say that this is definitely not like, it didn't delve into as much as this like concept and idea of like trad wives or like these women and people who are trying to uphold traditional values in today's America that are obviously pretty racist and sexist and holding up patriarchal values from a long time ago. It didn't really delve into that as much. Of course, it did touch on it. It was definitely more about motherhood, about Natalie, about religion, about how honestly just about being a woman and being a woman in a man's world kind of thing, and how I feel like everybody finds a way to adapt to it. And Natalie's like, she did find a way to adapt to it. Was it a good way? No. But I don't know. I actually really loved this. I feel like like I said, loved the writing, her character, crazy, and her kids. I literally felt so bad for her kids, and this made me tear up. I was actually in the coffee shop when I was like finishing this, and it was like, I luckily had my sunglasses on because I was right by the window and it was super bright. I was tearing up because there's just like some stuff at the end with her kids, like them kind of having a moment to talk about their experience with their mother, and you know, her being an influencer and being this like really interesting person with like a very online persona versus how she actually was in real life. And it literally made me tear up because it was sad, but also like their perspective was, I feel like, very realistic. I could see someone who actually, you know, I mean, there's tons of actual influencers who I think utilize their kids for content and not in the best way, not in a positive way. I don't know if there is a positive way. There's not, but you know, whatever. But I feel like I could see one of them growing up and having a similar perspective to what her kids did. So I thought that was really well done, really interesting. I would recommend this to anyone just because it was such a wild ride. I mean, Natalie was like, I don't want to say she was funny because I know we're not really supposed to like her, but like at times she was just so funny because she was so ridiculous. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that. I know she's like not a good person. I just also think she happens to be funny at the same time. So those are my updates so far, and I'm very proud of myself for how much I've read so far. And like I said, I'm going to continue reading tonight and tomorrow and hopefully get through a lot more of this. And hopefully maybe even finish this. I just like today I just think I cannot do anymore. I feel like I had a lot to do, like remote work stuff, and it was hard for me to focus. There was a few times I had to pause and like pause the timer and what I was listening to like kind of lock in, and so I feel like my brain's just a little jumbled. I'm also supposed to get my period today, sorry, TMI. But I'm just feeling a little scatterbrained, so I think for myself, I need to take a little bit of break from reading, and I need to go get ready and do some other stuff anyway. So I will come back tomorrow and we will finish up the rest of our timer. Hello, I am back and I look really crazy. I'm gonna try to maybe sit back a little bit because I just did an everything shower and I wanted to tan after, and I'm looking very Jersey Shore orange snooky. I just put it on like 30 minutes ago, so trust I will rinse and it will not look this crazy later, but unfortunately we're just gonna have to run with my Oompa Loompa face right now. But I'm here to update you. I left off yesterday with, I thought I had 2 hours left, but I actually had 2 hours and 52 minutes left, so pretty much 3. And what I've been doing today is I read a lot of my Remarkably Bright Creatures book on audiobook because today was really just like a reset day for me. I feel like I woke up and I was like, my apartment was treacherously messy and icky. So I like just needed a whole reset day, did a bunch of cleaning, and then did an everything shower, whatever, tanned obviously. Which is why I decided to pick this up on audiobook while doing all that. So I've read quite a bit. I only have 38, there's my reflection, 38 minutes left. And I am this far in, which almost looks, I think a little bit less than halfway through. This is how much I've read. Wait, wish this would ever focus on time. Okay, yeah, so this is how much I've read. This is what's left. So obviously I will not be finishing this in 38 minutes. I'm gonna see. I really do want to finish this book today. I just don't know if that's really going to be possible. But what I'm going to do is read my 38 minutes and then read for as long as I can after that. I do have some other stuff that I have to do tonight after that. And if I don't finish, which I feel like there's a high possibility, then I'll just have to finish another day and maybe let you know about the movie. But if I do, then I'll watch the movie tonight. So those are my updates. I'm let me see how many pages. Okay, of course there's no page number on that page. I'm 152 pages in, so that's about, I think I was like 55 pages in last time I checked in, so almost 100 pages. And I don't know how I'm feeling about this. This is contemporary fiction or lit fiction. Honestly, I don't know the difference, and I think I need to do my research because I call everything lit fic, but this might just be contemporary fiction. And to me, the reason I don't read a lot of contemporary or lit fic type of books is because I am just someone who really likes a really action-packed plot with like a lot of things going on. And that is not this for sure. This is a very this is a very meandering story of our main character Tova, who works at an aquarium. She is kind of befriending the octopus there. And then a separate story about our other main-ish character, Cameron, who is a man in his 30s, kind of down on his luck. His girlfriend just broke up with him. He just lost another job, and he's seemingly that type of person who has never really been too serious and like been able to like hold certain things down. And now he is on kind of what feels like a goose chase quest to find his father, even though he has very little evidence to prove that the man he's looking for is his father, and that just so happens to be in the same town that Tova lives in. As I've seen from the trailers of the movie, I know that their stories collide. And so far where I'm at in this book, Cameron just got a job at the aquarium that Tova works at, doing maintenance while he's in town looking for his dad. So that's kind of all that's happened. Yeah, I just don't know where the plot is going, because there's also this kind of mystery, not really, but like sort of element of Tova's son who died, I guess, like I don't know, I think it's supposed to be like a long time ago, like maybe 20 years ago. He was like 18. Yes, she was like 40, I think, and so now she's quite older. Yeah, let's say 20 years ago. So basically his boat was found like bobbing in the water, I think, and then they saw that the anchor line had been cut, and basically the town police and everyone just assumed that he killed himself, even though Tova was like did not ever believe that and doesn't believe that. And apparently Marcellus, who's the octopus, is supposed to help Tova like with the mystery of that. I literally don't know how, and I don't know how Cameron, like, I just can't connect the pieces on how everything is going to connect yet, which I guess is not a bad thing. It's definitely keeping me on my toes, because I'm like, what is happening? But also right now feels like nothing's happening. So yeah, it's definitely like a light and easy read. It's just, I think I'm just waiting for something. So hopefully something happens soon. Anyways, I'm gonna get back into reading this physically right now. I am ready on my nice clean couch. I'm gonna get under my little blankie, and I made this delicious drink. It does not look delicious, maybe. Actually, it kind of does. There's just some like weird residue, but I don't think you can see it from there. But this is so good. I blended up watermelon, really just the watermelon in a blender, and then I strained it, so I just got like the juice, added a sparkling watermelon water from Trader Joe's, and added lime. So good. Perfect summer drink. I feel like this would also be good with a little tequila as a margarita, and with a little tahini rim. That would be, I actually think I need to do that now that I'm saying that out loud. So I'll have to go get more watermelon. But anyways, I'm going to enjoy my delicious drink and read for probably longer than 38 minutes, but at the very least 38 minutes, so that we can finish our 24 hours reading together. So the male main character, Cameron, he just met a girl, like kind of chance meeting when he was trying to find his dad, and she literally tells him that he smells like piss and has what she hopes is chocolate on his face. I don't know if I'm in focus. Hopefully I am. And then he's like into her, like thinks she's hot, whatever, and then follows her into her store that she owns and proceeds to be like kind of annoying. And she literally like actually talks to him and shakes his hand and gives him his phone number to free balm for his sore neck. Girl, you just said he smells like piss, and he does smell like piss, because he was just talking about in the last chapter how his mattress smells like piss, not his own. So basically he bought a camper that came with a mattress. That's so gross though. That's so gross. I would never, like, I just, like, my first thing, if I told someone that they smelled like piss and had presumably chocolate, but I mean hopefully chocolate, but could have been shit, I guess, since you already smell like piss, I would not have given them my number and some free stuff from maybe some free stuff, because I would have assumed they were homeless, probably. But I guess she's bold. I guess she's really kind. There's a guy who works at the grocery store in town. He owns it, actually. He's like an older man who has a crush on our main character, Tova, and he's so sweet. I love him. I literally hope that they end up together because they're so cute. I don't think I like Cameron. I don't know. Maybe that will change, but he's kind of annoying. Okay. Something just got interesting. There has been a plot. There has been a development, although nobody knows it except for the octopus. I hate that this is out of focus. Whatever. And I kind of suspected it, but I'm interested to see how this goes because I don't know if anyone else is going to realize, because right now it's literally the only one who knows is the octopus. Sorry, I'm trying to focus it again. But the only one who knows right now is the octopus, and like, how is he going to tell people? How's he going to tell? And how does he even... Whatever. 3 minutes left. Okay, my timer went off and I didn't even realize. I was like, I'm sure I only had 30 seconds left. But, okay, so obviously I'm not done. But, I mean, this is how much I read, how much I have left. I'm pretty decent way through. I'm 195 pages in. And this is only, let me see, 355 pages. So I really want to try to finish this tonight because I feel like it's like what, like 100 and something pages left. I'm not good at math. That's like only 160 pages left. So I feel like I could do that. So let me try to finish it and I'll get back to you. If I don't, then I will update you wherever I leave off. Okay, my self-tanner looks even crazier in this light. I'm like, where can I go that it's not gonna look? I don't know. I look crazy. Okay, ignore that. It's 9:30 p.m., way past my 24-hour timer, and I have just finished Remarkably Bright Creatures. I did enjoy this. I don't think it's one of my favorites. It ended up being a very sweet story, although somewhat predictable. I don't know. Like, I feel like, honestly, from like chapter 1, you pretty much expect what is going to happen, because why else would these two characters be the main characters? You know what I mean? But I mean, honestly, the end was very heartwarming, was very sweet. I enjoyed reading it. I just feel like maybe there was like too much buildup. Like, this is a pretty short book. I think it's only 355 pages. Maybe 50 less pages could have worked, to be honest. But I did enjoy it. I thought it was sweet and just, like I said, heartwarming. So with that being said, I will be watching the movie tonight. I'm very excited. I think I'm just going to close out the video here. So I just want to wrap up with some of my other reads. I was able to finish Fall of Ruin and Wrath, or Wrath of Ruin, which was the audiobook I had already started and which was the book I had already started and was pretty much finished with by the time I started this video. I read Gone to See the Riverman, Yesteryear, Remarkably Bright Creatures, and then I started 7 Days in June, although I did not read any further into that, but I'm pretty happy. That's 4 books that I have completed in this 24-hour readathon, so yay, very successful. And I only have a few more books on my like set TBR, so I'm very happy with that. And I love doing these little challenges to really push myself to, you know, read outside of my usual like daily goal or like whatever. So very happy. I think next time I'd like to try like finishing 3 books in 3 days. I don't know if that's going to be harder or easier, but I just feel like that would also be a fun challenge. And also sometimes the 24-hour readathons, when I'm like the first half, I really did read for like 10 or 12 hours straight. And I did feel a little bit like I was going crazy. Like I did feel like I was like, because it's also like finishing one book and then not giving yourself any time to like jump to the other one. Sometimes it's just a lot for the brain to handle. But Anyways, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me read for the past 24 hours. I'm going to wrap up my night with reading or watching Remarkably Bright Creatures. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.